Hello everybody, Rick the Retired Texan here. Sorry about the quality of the video. It is pouring down rain here. And I need to feed the horses, but I'm not getting out of this truck till it slacks off a little bit. While I'm sitting here, I thought I'd do a video. First of all, before I get into the topic that's on my mind, I want to talk to those handful of people that have gone on my channel and made comments about not liking how I look and don't like me because I'm probably a Trump voter, and don't like me because I'm probably a hunter, and whatever else that some of y'all have gone on my channel and said. Just letting you know, this will be going to be the one and only time that I address all that kind of crap. I'm not going to get into any kind of keyboard fight with any of y'all that don't like me or agree with me. My suggestion to you would be to scroll on to another channel where you can listen to somebody that you like. That's what I would do if I were you. So just FYI, you're not going to bait me into that crap. I do these videos because I know there's some older folks out there that are interested in hearing from other older folks, just to see what their perspective is on life after 50, 60, 70 years. And sometimes it's interesting to see how other people have evolved in their thoughts on things. So that's one reason I do it. Another reason I'm doing these videos is there's a lot of young people out there that need to hear an older person's perspective on things. Somebody that's been around a long time, that's done a lot of things right and done a lot of things wrong, and that are people that are just down to earth, normal people who are out living in middle class America, that are reasonably intelligent, that are willing to share their thoughts. There's young people out there that need to hear from people like that. There's a lot of young folks out there that just don't have anybody like that in their life, and they need to hear from people like that. So that's another reason I'm doing these videos. And then the most important reason for doing these things is I have 3 grandchildren that are under 10 years old, and the sad truth is, I guess it's sad, is by the time they're 30, I probably won't be here anymore on this earth, and I want to leave kind of a digital footprint, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what you'd call it, for my grandkids to be able to refer to see how their old pop felt about things and hear it directly from me, and not somebody telling them what their pop would have thought about things. So that's the main reason I'm doing these videos. So if you don't like me, just keep on scrolling. That'd be my suggestion. I got friendship on my mind while I'm sitting here in the truck right now. Went out to eat. My wife and I went out to eat with some dear friends last night, and I've got another good friend that I'm thinking about this morning who is going through a health scare and doing everything he can to get through that. I'm sitting here thinking about him, and just thinking about friendship. And I told you in a previous video that I don't take anything for granted, or I certainly try not to. And one of those things is friendship. Life can evolve into being very lonely without friends. Some of us have good-sized families, and some of us don't. And even if you have a big family, I still think you need friends. And I think you need to be proactive about making friends, because I wouldn't want you to look up one day and you be my age and you don't have anybody around you, and you're just kind of living the last part of your life in a vacuum, all alone. That's just that's a sad thought, and a lot of times that happens to people because they weren't proactive about making friendships along the way during their life. And one thing that I would recommend is be proactive about making friends. Don't just wait for other people to come to you to try to make a friendship with you. That usually don't work. I mean, when you're out circulating in the world in your organizations that you may be part of, or your clubs that you may be members of, or a member of, or when you go to church, or whatever you do, be sociable. Be proactive about making some of those people, or attempting to make some of those people, your friend. For things to happen for you in life, you've got to make them happen. You can't just sit back and wait for things to come to you. Life just doesn't work that way. So I recommend you being proactive about making friends. Your life will be much better for it when you develop a good network of friends at all levels. Extremely close friends, casual friends. You need all those in your life to make your life really well-rounded. And I would say be very open-minded about making friends from different cultures and different walks of life and different socioeconomic levels. My wife and I have friends who are very, very financially well off, much more than us. And we have friends who, quite honestly, would probably be in bad shape if they miss one or two paychecks. But that's just realities of life, and all those people are wonderful friends of ours. We don't snub our nose at anybody because of frivolous, silly things. We're very open to being friends with all kinds of people, and I think you should too. Your life will be better for it. If you just hang around with people who look and act just like you, then it's you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to keep rocking along with all the same things going on around you all the time. You're not going to learn anything new potentially. It's nice to get other people's perspectives on things, who live different kinds of lifestyles than you do. I want to talk to you about how to make some of these friendships better quality friendships also. Once you got a friend, then if you're not careful, you can mismanage that friendship. So let me tell you, first of all, when you're with your friends, don't ever use the term best friend. When you're talking to your friends about a third party, don't refer to somebody else as your best friend when you're talking to somebody else, when you're talking to another friend. That's to me, that is teenager talk, and I don't think that's the way adults should speak when you're interacting with your friends. You need to be cognizant of your friends' feelings. Don't be so careless with how you interact with your friends that you unnecessarily hurt their feelings. You know, you may be sitting across the table talking to a good friend and somebody that considers you to be their best friend. And if you start talking about a third party that's not there as your best friend, then that can be very hurtful to the person you're with. That person you're with may think in their mind that they are your best friend. So be careful about that. Let me also say that friendship needs to be reciprocal, and that's kind of a no-brainer. You would think that's a no-brainer, but you know, there are tons and tons of people out there who don't understand that friendships should be reciprocal. And I don't know, I don't understand how people could not understand that, but there's a lot of them out there. It just flies right over their head for some reason. You know, when you have a friend, you should be calling each other and getting each other's opinion on things, inviting each other to do things. Don't think that everything you do with your friends should be because they called you. You know, I cringe when I hear somebody say, you know, I love old so and so. I just never hear from him anymore. And he's a great guy, or she's a great gal, and or whatever. And I never hear from him anymore. And when I hear somebody say that, I think, well, how stupid is that? You know, if you care that much about somebody, and you're sitting there thinking about how unfortunate it is you don't ever hear from them anymore, well, maybe you ought to give them a call. Some people just got it in their mind that all their interaction with their friends should be because their friend reached out to them. And if that's the way your mind works, then if you don't understand that reciprocation is a very important part of friendship, then you're never going to have any close friendships, any really good, high-quality friendships, more than likely. And your friends will slowly but surely drift away. And you'll slowly but surely lose all your friendships if that's your attitude. You know, my wife and I used to have a couple in our life, and everything we did with them had to be because we called them and invited them. And we started thinking there for a while, you know, if we stop inviting them, I wonder if we would ever even hear from them again. And so we ran a little test on that, and sure enough, we didn't hear from them. And so we started wondering, you know, I wonder if it's because the friendship is not as valuable to them as it is us, or do they just not understand the importance of reciprocation in a friendship? We weren't really sure. That was kind of unfortunate because it kind of damaged the friendship a little bit. It all worked out in the end, but don't be that person. Call your friends. Don't just sit there and waiting on them to call you. It don't work that way. You need to have boundaries with your friends. You know, don't tell your friends about too much about your finances, your personal finances. You can talk about finances in a very general way, but be very careful about telling your friends about your personal finances and all the details of that. And do not talk to your friends about your intimate relationship with your spouse or your significant other. Those are boundaries that should not be crossed, and I would say those are not healthy things to do. No matter how good your friendship is, I would say those are boundaries that you should not cross. Let me also talk to the guys out there. Guys have a tendency to cut each other down when they're together. Just give each other a real hard time. And I think that's okay. It's fun. But like most things in life, moderation and intelligence and logic needs to be factored in almost everything you do in your life. So don't get so carried away with that insult humor to the point where it starts to damage your friendships that you value. This is something that I've seen men do, or boys and young men do through the years, and they take it a little bit too far, and it ends up damaging the friendship. Because let's just be honest about it, most insult humor comes from at least some small piece of reality, and too much of that can be hurtful. And so I would say have fun with your friends and give them a hard time, but be logical about that. And don't get too carried away with that, because after a while, people get tired of being told how dumb they are and how silly they are and how foolish they are. Even if you're joking around, next thing you know, that person don't want to be around you anymore. So, and I think and boys and young men are the worst about that. So I would caution you on that. I would say learn to be a good listener when you're with your friends. Be present when you're with your friends. If you want friendships to be good quality friendships, be present with them when you're with them. Be present. Get off your dang phone and look your friend in the eyes and have a good conversation, a good interaction. Don't always feel like every time when you're with your friends, you have to be the smartest person in the room. Enjoy that time together. It's not a competition. Quit looking at your friendships so much like a competition, and just enjoy the relationship, and let it have a lot of give and take in it, a lot of reciprocation. Back to the reciprocation topic. Everything in life is not a competition, regardless of what you hear. Okay? So, I don't know. Friendships was just on my mind, and that's my view on friendships. And I probably got a lot of other thoughts I'm not thinking of right now, but I'm not doing anything scripted in these videos. When I get a little time on my hands and I want to share some thoughts, I just jump on here and do this. So take it for whatever it's worth. Y'all have a good one.